in Houston. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Here's a handoff out of the gun, and he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And good vision there as he's across midfield and down to the 45-yard line. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead him to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity. And that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week. And right now, we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Foyesade Oluwakan made the tackle there from his safety position. 2nd and 10. The Texans at 3-2, a game over 500 here to start the season. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. And this, I mean, it's certainly something to watch out for. He is not afraid to call his own number on plays like that. And here he takes it for good yardage.
And we know this defense prepared all week for this, but sometimes when you see it in person.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked up by Foyesade Oluwakan. And the Jags are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Lawrence bringing the Jaguars up 1st and 10 at their own 16. They'll start on the ground. Etienne. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Now Lawrence to throw. He'll get this one complete to Zay Jones. Finding space at the 40. And he will step out of bounds all the way down inside the 40. It's a big play for the Jaguars. 45 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Texans scoop it. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line. And I guess we're back to square one. A rocky start here. A turnover followed by a turnover.
Not exactly what we expected going into the game, but I always wonder about the nerves and people starting, the emotions of the game. Sometimes it takes a little while for that to play out and for them to settle in. Let's hope that that's taken care of now.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. They'll start this drive out on the ground. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Well, this defense for the Jags, they were excellent a week ago in the win over Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And this is just a little touch pass. They send the receiver in motion, just kind of tap it forward to him. Now, it doesn't turn into a huge play, but they do pick up a first down. A nice, consistent gain.
On 1st and 10, here's Fields. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Going right side, he finds Slayton. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
On fourth down, Fields. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on fourth. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Now ETN to start the drive. They find some open field here. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. Heck of a start, a 30-yard pickup on their first play from scrimmage. They go play action now. Lawrence out to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Lawrence. A quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. We're scoreless after one. So now 3rd and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. From the gun, it's Lawrence. Flush to his right. Got his man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Calvin Ridley, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jaguars post the first points of the ball game as they take the lead here in this 2nd quarter. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. 3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago and in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 18 more yards there and another first down.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper. It's 2nd down.
It's the gain of 5. Brings up 2nd and 5.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And he won't get to the marker. He's a yard short. A pickup of 3. It leaves him with 4th and 1.
They snap it to Fields.
Oh, he put it on the carpet, a fumble. Now this one's going to go out of bounds, so no recovery, but on 4th down, a change of possession anyway. 8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a 1st down. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Fields throw complete there to Beckham.
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. First catch there for OBJ, and that good for a 1st down.
That's another Houston Texans.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
And he's got it. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Darius Slayton, a 9-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans are an extra point away from drawing level.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away.
Now Jamal Agnew from his end zone.
Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And now off to the races down the right side. And he'll bring it back all the way. Touchdown.
That was a special return, and it happened because he's a special returner. He has to have that approval from his special teams coach's head coach to bring it out of the end zone.
But let's be honest, a lot of times when they bring it out of the end zone like he did there, they don't have approval. I mean, I think a lot of times they do, but correct me if I'm wrong. Sometimes it's just a guy getting a feel, right?
You're exactly right. What's the old adage? Sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, and if you do, you're taking on some responsibility, but he was happy to do so there.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
For this offense, Charles, remember the last time they were out here, marched it nearly the full length of the football field, and a lot of the attack went through the air. So, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. It's Devin Lloyd with a pick.
And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Now the try here for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Makes the score Jaguars 21, Texans 7.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Pick 6 last drive. Here's Fields again.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's the game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And down he'll go at the 25. And the Jags, Charles, I think they're in the dime here.
Covering a lot of field.
Oh, Fields is intercepted for a 3rd time. Picked up by Andre Cisco. And the Jaguars are going to take possession of the football. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame...
And he loses the football a second time. And the Texans say they have it. They do. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. I looked over to both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception, some type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
On 2nd and 10, Fields. Fields hit, and the ball is loose.
And the Jags grab it. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. Point after here coming up. He knocks it through. It's 28-7.
Makes the score Jaguars 28. Texans 7.
So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And with a 3-score deficit staring them in the face, they might have to press the issue here and try to get points out of this drive.
And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves them with 2 to go on 2nd down.
He's taken down
On 2nd and a couple.
Fields.
And bringing it in right side here, Beckham. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 25 seconds to go here in half number 1. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
From the gun, here's Fields.
Sliding out of the pocket. He completes it to Beckham. Now another timeout called for by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime.
On 1st down, it's Fields.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack.
Multiple defenders get to him there, and that is the 6th time he's been sacked in this ball game.
Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. Sacks a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack.
Fields.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked off by Tyson Campbell, and he will be brought down on what will be the final play of this first half.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in this second half.
From his end zone, here comes Agnew. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
Now Lawrence on 1st down.
This one complete to Christian Kirk. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
Handoff running left is Etienne.
And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defense in front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Airing it out, looking for Ridley. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
From midfield now, Lawrence. And he gets this one to Ridley, complete. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield.
Here's Logan Cook now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And out of bounds, sailed over, looked like right near the pylon. This one's going to be perfect. Directional kicking at its finest, right down at the 1-yard line.
Brandon, you're never quite sure what the side judge or the field judge is going to rule there. That was awfully close, but in the end, he says it passed over the 1-yard line, and that's where they're going to mark it out. I mean, you can see it right there, right? See him walking up the sideline? Told him to stop right there at the 1.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Now, they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right,
throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
So a little more space to work with here from the 13 on 1st and 10. Now it's Fields.
It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and
A play fake, now Fields to throw. Open man is Jordan, the tight end.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Back to throw, Fields.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. A good gain on 1st. Has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29.
Out of the gun, Fields. Quick slant complete to OBJ. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 38-yard line. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Fields to throw on 3rd and 1.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple rushers break through to drop him for the 7th time this game.
Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Still just the third quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on fourth.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
It's caught by OBJ.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
A defensive breakdown allows a pickup of 16 on fourth down.
Off play action, Fields.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jordan. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and it's second down.
Now Fields. Catch made by Slayton. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
It'll be first and goal when we come back. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Texans 7.
Fields.
And it's caught. Touchdown, Texans. Brandon Cooks with career touchdown number 60.
And the Texans drive the entire length of the field, 99 yards for the score.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they've got to ramp things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. Lawrence's throw taken in by Ridley here. Finding space at the 40.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Well, that should be a reminder defensively, and I think it's a reminder to myself because you just can't sell out to stop the run. There's still enough time that this offense can move the football through the air, even on first and second downs, and they obviously picked the right spot to throw the ball there.
He'll air this one out for Kirk.
And that is incomplete.
But one thing we certainly know, he likes to take those risks deep downfield during games, coverage or not. The coverage was there on that one. No catch, but he's also fortunate. No turnover either.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Josh Allen just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7.
So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's caught at the 25. Touchdown, Jaguars. Calvin Ridley, his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Jaguars are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead.
The extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
After the touchdown, Cook now to kick this one away.
The Texans take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the...
And my goodness, another interception.
And the Jags are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Well, there's two sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for them. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Another tote for Etienne.
And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces, and I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1. Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. So possession goes over here on the punt.
And the Texans will take over.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good news, though. This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
Now a throw here to his running back. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. The catch and run pays off to the tune of 35 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
Here's Fields.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Devon Hamilton in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning.
At the 26-yard line.
Throwing on 2nd down.
Fields.
And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
Fourth down. Fields has to have this one.
He's going to have his running back. It's complete. Touchdown!
Tyler Beatty.
An 18-yard touchdown grab.
And the Texans have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead will be cut down to 14. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. That one looks like he'll throw here. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just over 90 seconds to go in the ball game.
We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. On third down, Lawrence. Open man is Fortson. He's got it. And he is going to have a Jags first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
But when you're up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter and you're going to throw the football, expect to see a lot of man coverage, because usually what comes along with man coverage is pressure. So if you're a play caller and you want to keep throwing the football, that's fine. Just make sure your offensive line understands they're going to get additional guys running at the quarterback.
On first and 10, it's Etienne. He finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
On second down, Etienne once more.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. So this will be a win for Jacksonville. And I tell you what, I can't remember a defensive performance as good as this one. They seemingly forced turnover after turnover after turnover every time you turned around.
Yeah, you can just keep going with it, can't you? After turnover. As this game unfolded, they were doing all the dictating, right? They told the offense exactly how it was going to go down today. So you saw them deflate with every series, didn't you? Every time they ran onto the field, it was slower and slower to get to the football because they just felt like if we go out there, we're just going to turn it over anyway. So it was really, really a stellar performance.
So for the Jaguars, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Meanwhile, for the Texans, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Nashville.
Yeah. You're in the presence of the realest essence. I've been serving lessons since the days of my adolescence. On the Cypress block, young buck holding it like we knew it all. Not afraid to do it all. Matter of fact, to look back and see it all. I can remember the haters say the game will ruin y'all. What's that to me? Don't give about a hater. Let them like the in my paper. They call me Big Dog, riding with the hillbilly. Q-Bone stallion with the lip. Really became a boss many years back when I'm gone. Give me, pull your tears back. We put the bang and produce. You got no chance of hanging. They take the tails when you're flipping the quarter. We ain't slowing down, we crashing through the border.